Throughout the violent history of mankind, there are battles that define generations, wars that change the course of civilizations. Empires fall, kingdoms are overthrown, and alliances are broken, paving the way for the next. Within these numerous battles are heroes and villains on both sides, who are cunning, brave, bold, merciless, and chads. Their heroic tales inspire the heart of mankind to perform even greater acts of courage. But as the old saying goes, history is written by the victors, leaving some legendary battles lost in the sands of time. Fortunately, one of the greatest battles ever recorded, once thought absent from modern society, was recently discovered in Kyoto, Japan. A tale of love, war, deception, coming of age, power, truth, fate, destiny, and the ancient Japanese theme of nakama. Perhaps you've heard of this epic before, but have not had the opportunity to see it with your own eyes. Well, now's your chance to experience one of the greatest battles ever recorded.
In this corner, her beauty will pierce your eyes before her daggers. Childhood friend to the clueless MC, the waifu who already makes a delicious sandwich, the blonde beauty of Colony 9, Fiora! And the challenger. She'll put a spell on you faster than you can say burst end. Living proof that angels do have wings. She'll summon your love and copy it too. The waifu with the windpipes of gold, Melia!
Okay, you two, I want a clean fight. Don't come on too strong. Nothing risque, innuendos, hand-holding. It would probably go over my head anyway. But most of all, I want you to really feel it. I mean really feel it. Ready? Fight! Ah!
Ooh! Looks like our judge didn't see the future on that one.
Oh, that was weird. If you're familiar with the channel, you already know about my deep love for Xenoblade Chronicles, the JRPG that pulled me back into gaming. It opened my eyes to a form of storytelling that I had ignored in my earlier years, besides Pokemon and Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, which reminds me, I need to make a video about Thousand Year Door. How can I call myself a Nintendo channel when I haven't made a single Paper Mario video? Maybe that explains why people don't subscribe. Please subscribe. But you see, the reason why I make so many videos about the Xenoblade series, and will continue to do so, is because of the impact the first game played in my life. Don't get me wrong, it didn't cure a life-threatening disease or miraculously fix all my problems, but it sparked a renewed passion for video games. In fact, you could say Xenoblade is the reason I started this channel in the first place, with my first semi-successful video being about Xenoblade and Xenoblade 2. Yet despite my love for the grand Japanese epic, not everybody feels the same way. Because they haven't played it! The sales for the game have been mediocre at best, not terrible, but certainly not in the millions. It's not so much I want Nintendo to make more money, but more so I want more people to play a video game that I adore. The more the merrier. Granted, I know there are still those who have tried Xenoblade, but for one reason or another can't get into the combat. They find the grinding boring, or the combat too basic, or even confusing. And that's perfectly fine. At least you gave it a shot. That said, I believe with all my heart that most lovers of JRPGs would adore Xenoblade Chronicles if they have the chance to play it. As I said in my previous Xenoblade video, it was my dream to see my favorite game reappear in HD, not only for my own pleasure, but so that others could experience Monolith Soft's masterpiece. And now with little over a month away, millions of Switch owners will hopefully get that chance. I mean, it's not like you're doing anything else right now, except maybe play video games or stealing other people's goth girlfriend. Sorry, I'm going through some drama in Animal Crossing right now. There's basically no excuse for you not to try Xenoblade, unless money is tight right now, in which case, take care of yourself before you treat yourself, okay? Don't you think you're overhyping this remake just a little bit? You know, part of me is worried about that. What if the remake comes out and the majority of the people playing it for the first time hate it? Or, by honest forbid, longtime Xeno fans loathe it because it ruins the original? I think that would break my poor little heart. But based on the 2 trailers we've seen, I think that worry of mine will be quickly forgotten come May 29th. So, what new things did the latest trailer reveal? To be honest, not a ton. Only the face of our waifu queen Melia.
Bask in her glorious beauty!
Aside from that and the new epilogue, not a whole lot. Fiora's glow-up in the previous trailer shook me to the bone, and despite being a Melia fanboy, that smug face nearly stole my loyalty away from the winged angel. But I remained loyal to Melia, believing that she would once again steal the waifu spotlight. Sure enough, this trailer put Melia back at number 1 in my heart. Although it's not really because of something Melia did, more so because of Fiora's neck. I know Shulk is into the longer necks, but the giraffe extension was going too far. Truthfully, Melia's glow-up is just as impressive as Fiora's. The brighter eyes, softer complexion, detailed wings. Yet despite these changes, she doesn't lose a pixel of her regal look and attitude. Bravo to Monolith Soft for making two fantastic waifus cuter than ever before. However, I am slightly disappointed we didn't get to see Melia's smile to rival Fiora's epic smug of greatness. But I guess all the sweeter it will be when we see Melia's smile in HD. Moving on from the two best girls, the trailer also gives us a look at the rest of the party. Sharla, Dunban, and even Ricky for a split second. Look at his waddle, gallop, run. What a good hero pun. Good job, Ricky! Of course, the entire cast looks fantastic in HD and in the new art style. Sharla, in particular, has gotten quite the glow-up. Younger looking, yet still mature like the oldest sister she is. And I'm sure they've kept her legendary, physics, so you purists out there don't have to worry.
Why don't you fanboy about her then?
Sharla is a great character. Her arcs in the story are emotionally engrossing. But there's a certain best friend who's already called dibs. Now it's Rhine time. Sharla! Even though I'm excited they finally revealed the entire main cast, there is one character that I'm surprised Nintendo is trying to hide. He's integral to the entire plot. Without him, the plot doesn't move, and I'm wondering why they have avoided him for so long. I'm of course talking about our Lord and Savior Juju, the greatest hero of them all. Welcome to the Xenoblade fandom. Beyond characters, the remake is going all out on improving the environments. If you thought Xenoblade 2 looked good, wait until you step into Gower Plains for the first time. That is going to be an emotional trip. To clarify, I'm not saying one game's environment is better than the other, but holy Monado, does the Bionis look gorgeous in HD. I can't wait to take in each and every one of these sites. The level of detail found in the trailers and in screenshots puts other Nintendo remakes to shame, let alone the original Xenoblade. With all these improvements, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition looks like a game made this year, rather than a game made 10 years ago with an HD filter.
Looking at you, Zelda remakes.
When I played the original, the environments captivated my imagination, even with the low resolution. Exploring the world was thrilling because of the beautiful creative environments you would find. With these newly remade textures, I'm sure it will be just as, if not more, captivating than before. The fantastic OST also plays an important role in Xenoblade's exploration. With more than 90 re-recorded tracks, that impact will age beautifully next to the HD graphics. This might seem like a minor thing to some of you, but to me, improving only graphics is almost like doing the job halfway. Look at Twilight Princess HD, for example. The HD graphics look pretty good, as long as you ignore the baby hands, but they completely ignored the OST. While I greatly enjoy Twilight Princess music and the HD remake as a whole, the sound quality is just not on par with the rest of the remake, thus becoming easier to pick at. But in Xenoblade's case, the HD graphics and re-recorded music complement each other, creating a more modern and consistent remake. Hearing the electric guitar, piano, and strings melding together, weeping together during the most emotional scenes of the game solidifies the emotional impact on the player. For example, taking your first steps onto Gower Plains and hearing the strings pierce the silence is a special moment all in itself. Hearing the re-recorded Engage the Enemy track again after so many years sends a wave of nostalgia through my body, fueling my hype and excitement even further. Even now, the songs bring tears to my eyes. I'm so excited to hear all these tracks remastered. If the remake trailers are any indication, this remastered soundtrack could surpass even Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which I thought was better than the original, but only time will tell. One track I hope they re-record is Unfinished Battle, an incredible track that builds excitement and tension, pumping you up for the final battle. It's a crime that track only plays once the entire game. Then again, maybe that's what makes it so special. Either way, here's hoping they nail it with the remake along with the rest of the soundtrack. Another noticeable change is the UI, especially the combat UI, much more modern and easier to process. Looking back, the original's battle menu was a bit cramped with the HP gauge and art taking a good chunk of the left side and the battle arts covering the bottom. But in the remake, they've shrunk both the HP gauge and the battle arts icon size considerably, allowing for more free space, all while its design and layout are faithful to the original style, which should please many original fans out there. That said, while the improved UI certainly looks less cramped, the menus from Xenoblade Chronicles 2 and Torna were more compact, easier on the eyes, and naturally filled in the gaps on the screen. Xenoblade Chronicles UI, on the other hand, is thrown together with no coherent theme. It isn't terrible, but I'm not sure it's as good as the design of the sequel. Of course, being accurate to the source material is ideal for this kind of remake, but part of me hoped they would mix up the battle UI without changing the combat itself. That said, what we have here is polished enough, even if I like the sequel's look more. Then again, I might be more familiar with the Xenoblade 2 style since I haven't touched the first game in years. Perhaps I just need to get used to the UI again. In fact, I remember a time when Xenoblade 2's combat looked cumbersome and intimidating, so maybe the same thing is happening here. My other complaint is so minor that I debated whether I should mention it or not, but here we are. Why is Rhine only leveled 17? Don't they know that it's supposed to be Rhine time every time? He should at least be on par with Ricky. I don't know if I should be insulted they neglected training Rhine, or impressed that they got this far without him. Kudos to you, Monolith Soft intern. For this final part, I want to talk about spoilers. This entire video has been spoiler-free so that we all can enjoy Xenoblade hype, but there are a couple things I want to discuss that go into major spoiler territory. As I stated in my previous video, Xenoblade Chronicles is one game that should never be spoiled, and I want to keep it that way even for the remake. If you haven't played Xenoblade Chronicles or the sequel, please skip to this time for my final thoughts. Did they leave? Oh good. I was worried they would find out about Juju. You know, him being the mastermind behind countless murders, including his own family, but he only did it to save the humans from underground mole people who kidnapped the buggy of his dreams during his high school graduation ceremony thousands of years ago, after which he cloned himself to invent time traveling and save the world from destruction at the hand of the true villain. Oh no, wait, that was just my fanfiction. Alvis. Look at this man, computer, sword thing. Besides his obvious facial improvements, the AI Monado has a new symbol on his necklace, instead of a random key. That is so 2010. He has a core crystal, more specifically, ontos. It's like I'm reading Greek or something. This confirms that Alvis, aka the Monado, is the missing biocomputer from Xenoblade Chronicles 2. If you remember from the sequel, the Trinity processor was used to control the conduit, an energy source that had the power to travel through dimensions. In that Trinity processor were 3 biocomputers, Pneuma, Logos, and Ontos. We already know who Pneuma and Logos are, and we could take a pretty good guess who Ontos was, based on what the architect said. But it's really nice to see more continuity between the games in the remake, which leads us to Future Connected. This new epilogue features Shulk and Melia. Yes! Exploring the shoulder of the Bionis, an area of the game that was meant for the original release, but was scrapped during development. Instead of shoving the area back in for the remake, Monolith Soft has decided to place it at the end, allowing for the pacing of the original title to go unchanged. Personally, I'm very pleased with that. However, what new plot points could they be bringing with this new area? In my mind, it has to tie into the Xenoblade 2 dimension. First off, let me summarize what I think the plot will be. Shulk mentions a capsule on the shoulder, implying there are people there, and asks who I assume is Melia if she wants to go see it. She agrees. She hasn't given up yet, boys! And they fly to the shoulder. Their ship is shot out of the sky, and they crash somewhere on the shoulder. Stranded, the two decide to explore the area and find out who's living there. Along the way, they'll meet 2 Noppons, who may or may not join the party, and potentially find other lost colonies, as seen in this promo art. So I'm guessing their main goal will be here, the source of the laser. Interestingly, this is also where the orange portal opens, once here, and another time much closer to the ground. In this shot we see a Taos, an enemy bird creature, getting sucked in by the portal, or at least the portal is having some sort of effect on it. Could this be a portal to the Xenoblade 2 world? If so, is this caused by the conduit, even though it disappeared? Honestly, I have no idea. Maybe I'm overthinking it, and the reason the portal exists is because people on the shoulder don't have friendship or some garbage like that. Please, Monolith Soft, don't let it be friendship. One last thing. This Noppon's helmet here kind of reminds me of Rex's outfit. The colors are a bit different and the similarities are scarce, but for some reason I get a Rex vibe. I doubt there would be any connection whatsoever, but it's food for thought. No more spoilers. We are over a month away from witnessing the HD return of the greatest JRPG ever made, in my opinion. If you are a lover of JRPGs, this needs to be on your playlist. I know there are some who disagree, but when a game has this much of an impact to me personally, it's hard for me to think otherwise. If you're not too familiar with JRPGs, I implore you to at least try it. It made me a fan of JRPGs, and I think it can do the same for you. That is why I ask you, once again, to keep yourself unspotted from this incredible game. Avoid spoilers like the current play, because playing the game for the first time is a special treat that you'll never get back. Now, if you've already been spoiled, please don't fret. you'll still be able to enjoy the wonderful cast, breathtaking music, fun combat, and gorgeous scenery. As for those who have already played, I said this in my previous video, but treat the Definitive Edition as the first ever release. The original and the 3DS versions were just incredibly early review copies, and you were under strict embargo to not spill the beans about any story or gameplay spoilers until the remake hits the Switch. Does that work for everybody?
Yeah, I have an issue.
No good. Now, if you excuse me, it's time to crown a champion.
It's been a tough fight, ladies and gentlemen, with long necks and head wings, but it looks like our judge is ready to make his final decision.
Fiora, I love you. I love you too, Melia. I love you and all you guys. Let's do this together. Wait, where are you going? Fiora, Melia. I don't get it. Huh, weird. It works for me. Thank you so much for watching. Are you excited for Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition? Who do you think should win the battle for Shulk? Let us know in the comments below. Sorry it took me so long to make this, but I should have another Xenoblade video ready to go soon. If you liked what you saw, please subscribe to NintenCity for more. I know I keep promising waifu battle royale, but I assure you, it's on the way once I get these Xenoblade videos out. I'm also streaming Animal Crossing twice a week now, so please look forward to that. I might do another Final Fantasy VII stream later as well, so we'll see. Goodbye, you good people.